Hi, I'm Mark Friedman, and today we're going to use Excel to solve what we traditionally call break-even problems, which may include looking for a targeted net income. Either download the file or put your information into a spreadsheet just as I have it, and then resume. The selling price per unit is going to go into cell B21. Equal E4 and hit the Enter key. The variable cost per unit
is in E6. Equal E6 and hit the Enter key.
The fixed cost is the last piece of information given, is equal E5. There is no targeted net income in A. A says, calculate the number of test units that must be performed each year to break even. Well, the first thing we need to know is the contribution margin. And the contribution margin is going to be sales minus variable cost. So in cell B23, equal the 80 minus the 60. Let's calculate the percentage of sales. Sales is always 100% of sales. The variable cost ratio is equal to the variable cost of 60 divided by the sales of 80. It's equal to B22 divided by B21. Hit the Enter key. It says 0.75. Let's change that to a percent. Its complement will be the contribution margin ratio, where the contribution margin ratio will be the contribution divided by sales, equal B23 divided by B21. Again, change it to a percent. And now we have all of the data required to come up with our calculation. Let's look at the formula that we have. Required sales, let's put in an equal sign. Remember, the equal sign is apostrophe equal. And let's center that. The total fixed cost plus targeted profit is actually in cell D and centered. Let's put a single border. That looks good. Let's merge and center the equal sign. Right click, format cells, alignment, merge cells, center vertically. Okay, looks good. And let's do the same thing. Well, if we're doing the same thing and we have it once, can't we just copy the format? We have cell B selected. This is B28 and 29. It's really B28. There is no longer a B29. Click on that cell. Click the Format Painter. And now we'll select A28, holding it down in A29. And that has brought over the format. Let's copy this. Select the range A28 through E29. Right-click, copy, skip a line, right-click, and paste. Let's put the fixed cost in C31. Go to C31, and that's going to be 200,000 equal. Click on the 200,000. It's going to be the 200,000 plus, and a plus has to be the apostrophe plus. And the targeted net income equal B25. The contribution margin per unit was 20, equal $20. Hit the Enter key. Let's copy the formula down one more time. Right-click, copy, skip a line, paste. Let's delete everything in C34 through E35. We have a border, remove the border. And this is going to be equal to, open parentheses, 200,000, which is in C31, plus the zero target profit in E31, close the parentheses, quantity divided by the contribution margin, which is in D32. Hit the enter key, and it's 10,000. Well, it's not $10,000. Let's go back there and change that, a comma with no decimal places. And we have to be careful. Sometimes that formula can come up with a reoccurring decimal. So if we're going to have fixed cost of $10 and a contribution margin of $3, then the answer would be 3.33333 units. We would like to round that up. So let's surround this by a round up. Equal, round up, open parentheses, at the end, comma, I do not want any decimal places, 0 places to the right, hit the enter key, and our answer is 10,000 units. And that's the answer to A. Well, let's fix this up a little bit. How about we get rid of the merged cells, right-click, format cells, merge cells, so there are no merged cells, okay. And now we're finished with A. B. B says, calculate the sales in dollars required to break even. Very similar. So why don't we just copy what we have so far? I'm going to select the whole range, in this case from A28 to E35. Right-click, copy. Let's go down to row 38. Right-click, paste. Required sales not in units but in dollars. And I'm going to copy that, paste it. If I were to paste it in 44, I would have the problem with the merge cells. It would merge the cells as well. I can, however, go up to the formula bar, copy it from the formula bar, Control-C, hit the escape key, go to cell A44, paste it in. Good. Requires sales in dollars. It's going to be the fixed cost plus the target profit, but instead of being contribution margin per unit, it's going to be the contribution margin ratio. So let's just change that to ratio. Very good. Okay, let's go to cell C41. Where is the total fixed cost? It's equal to the 200,000, B24. The targeted net income is going to be equal to B25, 0. And where is the contribution margin ratio? The contribution margin ratio is 25%. Hit the enter key. That has the wrong format. Change the dollar sign to a percent. 25%. And the answer is 800,000 watts. It's $800,000. Well, now we have a potential problem. What happens if the target income was $1? Well, the break even will be 10,001 because you need one more unit to be sold. But that means that this should be $800,080. The required sales in dollars, if we're selling units, has to be a multiple of the selling price. In this problem, since we already have the solution, we could just multiply the required sales in units by 80. So if we have per unit information, we should first solve for the number of units and then just multiply that by the selling price in order to come up with the required sale. Otherwise, you would have to round the solution to the next multiple of the selling price. Let's first change this to dollars and take off 2 decimal places since we're selling it for $80. There'll be no pennies. Okay, how do we get to the next multiple of the selling price? What happens if I divide the 800,000 by the selling? I should get close to 10,000 units, equal the 800,000 $4 divided by the selling price 80. That gives me 10,000.05. If I round up to the next integer, I'll have 10,001 units. If I multiply that by the selling price, I'll have sales in dollars times the selling price of 80, which is the cell B21. Hit the Enter key, and let's just copy down an equal sign, Control C, Control V. Let's change the target income back to 0 for part A and for part B. And the answer is 10,000 units and $800,000.
Well, we could change any of the variables on this model, the selling price, the variable cost, fixed cost, or the targeted net income, and all the numbers will change. This is a terrific example of how we can use Excel in managerial accounting. See you next time.